911, what's your emergency?
I'm freaking out. I can't stop watching these videos. This guy won't let me turn it off.
Sir, what are you talking about?
He's this big bald guy. He keeps raising his hands up in the shape of horns. What is that about?
Oh boy, we've got a code 666.
What the hell is that? Murder! Metal! Mayhem! Welcome back. I got another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder I'm going to throw at you today. Let me know what you think of this new intro. I've been getting some good feedback. Been getting ready to do another one, actually. You guys know the deal, though. This video should be less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds. Nice and simple, but I'm going to be tearing through this stuff 100 miles an hour. So hang on tight. And today I'm wearing a shirt for a local business owned by a couple that I've known for a long time. The Painted Wraith Curiosity and Oddity Shop. They got a website and a TeePublic store where you can buy some cool merch. So go support them. Local business, mom and pop, cool curiosities and oddities. And I'll link to it in the episode description. Now, real quick, take a moment to like the video. Also, if you're not a subscriber, do that before you go and leave a comment. You guys know the deal. It helps very much. And I appreciate those that do it. Now, I'm sure many of you that follow the Idaho 4 case have heard about the major fight that apparently went down between lifetime friends KAYLEE Gonzalez and MADDIE Mogan. They were supposed to be as close as sisters. And, knowing how sisters, though, can sometimes be, there had to be a number of fights that they endured over the years. But this one was major. At least that's what Christy Gonzalez said. Now, in the recent NBC documentary on their case, they talked quite a bit about Ashlyn Couch. Now, she was also from the Coeur d'Alene area, like KAYLEE and MADDIE, and they referred to Ashlyn and MADDIE, though, as best friends and showed a few pictures of them together. So I realize, people can be close to a number of friends, but this seemed different to me. It was almost like they wanted to prove a point that there was this definitive argument between these two and that it was almost permanent. Now, sadly, with much tragedy, it was. It was. Now, to guess what the fight could have been over, I mean, we can look at some of the information that Christy Gonzalez, KAYLEE's mom, had said in a recent interview. And we also know from the past interviews, she's talked about Dylan contacting KAYLEE to come back to the house. I know a lot of people are hung up with that. I got to admit, I am too. I mean, that's pretty ominous to be inviting somebody who you weren't really, that I've heard, close with, to be your plus one at a party and then have something gruesome like that happen while they're there. So a lot of questions with that. But KAYLEE had just moved into the 1122 King Road house in June of 22, and the fight started early July around the 4th. So it was a big enough dust up between them that KAYLEE was not going to her own sister's wedding, which was in August, since MADDIE was supposed to be there. And that's pretty harsh. Now, we know that KAYLEE wasn't living there when the crimes occurred. So I'm guessing she moved back to her parents' home in Coeur d'Alene after her sister's wedding. Sort of odd. Like most things about this case. I mean, why rent a room in a house that had to be pretty expensive in a college town? Because around here, college town rentals are just unbelievably high. And if you're not going to be there, why spend all that money? I mean, it's just, I don't know. Same thing with Ashlyn Couch. She was renting that bedroom apartment that wasn't being used. And she was living with her parents in Coeur d'Alene. So just seems strange to me. Something has always struck me as odd about this house and the women that were living there. I've wondered if it was some sort of safe house or a way to keep an eye on some confidential informants or something just different about that place that really made me wonder if it was under some sort of surveillance, or is that why Hunter Johnson was always there? Was he the one kind of keeping tabs on him? I just don't know. Now, when you consider the most obvious sources of the big argument between KAYLEE and MADDIE, it would have to be, a bad thing for it to cause such a major rift between these two. And I also wondered what MADDIE had told Adam and if that had anything to do with this. Makes you wonder, right? Now, maybe MADDIE knew that KAYLEE was going to break up with Jack Decor. Or maybe the stories are true with someone flushing some products and one of the girls or both had to come up with a large chunk of money very quickly. I mean, isn't that what Steve G meant when he said, I paid that debt? I've always wondered that. Or what about in the beginning of the case when he mentioned things happening at the house were, quote, gross, unquote? Kind of an odd word to use to explain what was going on there, but never explained why he used that word. So very strange. I heard Ashlyn Couch was friends with Dylan and Bethany, and in most people's opinions, that follow this case, I mean, that's not saying a whole lot. So maybe KAYLEE wanted to get out from, the flow of narcotics, and MADDIE didn't want her to leave, or she couldn't leave. I mean, who knows, right? So many questions with this case. I always love to hear what you guys have to say about it, though. So put a comment down below. Let me know. Make sure you share, comment on other videos, like the other commenters. It helps the video get out there to a lot more people. So if you like reading dark and creepy stuff, well, check out my bookstore on my website, petealtieri.com. You could purchase a book. You could read pages of it before you buy it. So check and see if it's your thing. And if it is, go for it. I got novels and I got short stories, petealtieri.com. Big thanks to all the members in the Horns High Club for your support. You guys are amazing. The next members only live will be the first weekend in June. I haven't set the date yet, but make sure you come to that. That should be a lot of fun if you're a member. But I appreciate all of you guys that listen, watch. Without you, this just wouldn't be possible. And, there's a link in the description below where you can join if you want to get into the Horns High Club. It's just $1.99. Check the description below to get to the Painted Wraith TeePublic store with some great designs. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you next time.